Yo, what's going on, everyone out there? Peace and blessings. This is Karev at Heritage Hip Hop, coming to you live once again on Heritage Hip Hop live on YouTube, Facebook, and anywhere you catch this. So please do me a favor. I need this from everybody, please. If you're watching me right now, subscribe to heritagehiphop.com, of course, please. But like, share, and comment on the video. We have to hit the algorithm. If you come in and you don't hit the like button, we don't hit the algorithm, all right? So today's topic is basically about the incredible run Nas has had with the King's Disease series with Hit-Boy. And I have a very specific question to ask you. Is Nas and Hit-Boy establishing the new standard or a new standard in hip-hop? Meaning, is this a preferred way people are going to start doing music as they embark on legacy-driven music? We got to talk about that because there's something very interesting happened when King's Disease happened and dropped. King's Disease 3 put Nas in a situation where people already knew Nas was a great, but now his GOAT status has elevated and he's rhyming through his legacy, not rhyming because of his legacy. Nas is one of the most interesting figures that we've ever had in hip hop, ever. And the reason why I say that is because Nas in many media outlets has been blamed for how hip hop changed. Because back in the day, hip hop was one producer, one MC. That's it. Or one DJ, one MC. Like Gangstar, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Marley Marl, and anybody in the Juice Crew. One producer, one sound, and an artist. And Nas was the first album, Illmatic that is, was the first album that had the super producer tag. And ever since Illmatic, hip hop has changed in the way where everybody wanted to get the hottest producers and change. You know, their sound, record to record, to come with a culmination of different sounds to create a magnum opus masterpiece. Right? So, did that change the entire game? No. Because people still went in-house and made a production team where they had a specific sound. Redman had Eric Sermon, Wu-Tang had the RZA, Death Row and Aftermath had Dr. Dre. So you had like a certain sound. But Illmatic was the album where people did not want to have a specific sound. On the creation of this new MC who was going to be a revelation in hip-hop, they got Pete Rock, Q-Tip, Large Professor, Primo, and they made a whole LES, I think it was on there. They made a whole bunch of sounds to complement this new great rapper, Nasir Jones, Nas. And over Nas's career, Nas has been subjugated to what people think and what people say about him. Like he has horrible beat selection. We've heard that, correct? We always heard Nas don't know how to pick good beats. We've always heard that Nas is he's just a lyricist. He doesn't have good beats, but his lyrics are always on point. You see what I'm saying? Nas has always been somebody who always captured the idea of what hip hop is, but people always shitted on Nas for how his music selection was, right? So Illmatic is considered a classic. It was written, changed the sound again. Trackmasters did that. That's considered a classic. Then when I Am and things started coming out, people started getting down on Nas, talking about how his beats are not hot. And then that's when the comparisons to Nas and Jay-Z happened because Jay-Z took over and Jay-Z always wanted to make sure his sound was illicit to what the sound of the culture was at the time. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my brother who just checked in. One of the greatest MCs out right now. Salute to Jersey. Last 7 Jewels out right now. Shout out to Capital Games. That's 2 guns. Nas, right? After I Am and all that, his beat selection was very criticized. So everybody said Nas was a bad beat picker. people started putting Nas under the likes of Snoop and E40 and all them because they always kept the hottest beats, even though Nas' lyrics was all right or great. You see what I'm saying? Nas always was picked as the golden child that got tarnished and fell off. Right? Okay. Once again, he went through the battle with Jay-Z. Some people say Nas won. Some people say Nas lost. But you hear people like Rockefeller saying that Nas won. So you call it what you want. That's just your fan service, I guess. But Nas could never get over that hump when it came to Jay because of Jay's beat selection. Jay working with Kanye, Just Blaze, Timbaland, Dre, etc. And it goes on from there. Nas was working with Salam Remy, and Salam Remy for some reason never gets his respect as a good producer. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And like I said, the beat selection alone is what made everybody go with Jay. Then King's Disease happened, right? The pandemic came. You start seeing verses coming out and all this. And it was time for Nas to come out with a project. And Nas said he wanted to rhyme and work with Hit-Boy. Now, y'all know anything about Hit-Boy. Hit-Boy came out of Kanye's camp. And Kanye basically tried to blackball this young man because him and Hit-Boy didn't get along for some reason. I don't know the inside story. I just know for a fact that Hit-Boy, and Kanye even said he did him wrong. He tried to blackball this young man and didn't want him to get his just due. You know what I'm saying? And Nas wanted to work with him. In the midst of the pandemic, Nas and Hit-Boy sat down and made one of the most stellar releases from a seasoned artist that has ever come out of hip-hop, King's Disease 1. King's Disease 1 put Nas and Hit-Boy on a whole nother level because now I was like, okay, Nas got somebody who making some quality beats for the time. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, Hit-Boy is one of the hottest new producers in the game. So Nas gets with Hit-Boy, and then everybody starts looking at Nas differently because now they figuring Nas has the sound to go with the lyrics. Okay. Soon after that, King's Disease 2 dropped. Nas elevated on King's Disease 2 because he would start talking about things that are very relevant to the times that we live in, like he always does, but this time the production was right. King's Disease 1 and 2 put Nas in the spectrum of another realm of being looked at when it came to hip-hop, because now he's getting Grammy nominated. He won a Grammy for King's Disease. As a matter of fact, he probably should have won one for King's Disease 2, actually. But, the industry is what it is. And then they surprised everybody and dropped the Magic project. Magic is one of the most underappreciated Nas albums that has ever come out. Magic was dope. You know what I'm saying? Check out the Magic track listing. You know what I'm saying? I could go through it right now. You know what I'm saying? Hit-Boy brought Nas back outside. And Hit-Boy's beats and production, like I said, for this era right now, has made Nas, brought Nas back to the conversation. Because everybody said Nas did not have good beats. Everybody shitted on Salam Remy. They didn't like Salam Remy. So nobody wanted to mess with Nas, right? Let's look at Magic. Speechless, Meet Joe Black, 4016, Who Was For the Children, you know what I'm saying? Wave Gods, The Truth, Dedicated. Those are great tracks. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost meaning almost the whole album. Magic was a release that not only cemented Nas that much further in that he could rap at this time, and his pen game is still incredible, but now he had the beat selection to solidify that his lyrics were being placed in the right place. Shout out to everybody watching. Hit me with a comment. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share. I want to hit the algorithm. Make sure you hit that like button, please. All right. So, like I said, on Magic, they was talking about King's Disease 3, right? Nobody was ready for what King's Disease 3 is. King's Disease 3 is arguably, I think Magic is very good. I think Magic is up there. King's Disease 3 is possibly one of the best Nas albums ever to date. Is it a classic? Time will tell. But the impact in which this record has right now, this entire project, hearing Nas on drill beats and updated beats, and him no guest appearances, which is a big deal for people, I guess. But no guest appearances, the new type of beats that's coming up, the topics that he's ranging on, the lyrical patterns he's doing. Nas actually came out his comfort zone and showed his ass on King's Disease 3. King's Disease 3 is one of the greatest albums in his catalog, which goes to actually the question: is Nas and Hit-Boy building something that's going to inspire people to go in that direction moving forward? Listen, we have great producers out there, but you don't hear great producers aligning themselves with one artist and them getting compared to some of the greatest groups of all time. Nas and Hit-Boy have been called the new gangstar. I don't know what guru means to you, but Guru brought something to the game with that monotone, smooth voice. Nas doesn't have a monotone, smooth voice, but Nas has a raspy voice, and that voice over one producer's beats that has shown the elevation of sound quality and production is incredible. But you don't hear like Ninth Wonder and Jay-Z and they call it the new gangstar. You don't hear Drake and Mustard and that's the new anything. Shout out to them. You don't hear Kendrick and Battle Cat, the new gangstar. You don't hear none of that stuff. And that's very important to me because is this going to be the new standard? That as MCs age in their legacy, are they going to keep buying beats from different producers? Or are they going to get with one producer and make one sound? Are we going back to the original standard of what hip hop is, which is creating a sound designated to a certain person and riding that wave to make them establish who they are? Let me tell y'all something. This is very important when it comes to how the culture is going to go because Nas is rhyming through his legacy. He's not rhyming about his legacy. Nas is not sitting back and chilling while people say he was always good and then nothing's coming. Nas is rhyming through a legacy and his plateau is just doing this. It's just going up and up and up and up. And I'm wondering, is that going to be what inspires Jadakiss to go to his next level? Busta Rhymes just dropped a new project. Is he going to think about this to go to a new level? Is Jay coming back? Because the rumors is Jay always comes back after Beyonce drops. Is that going to happen? I don't know. But what I will tell you is this: if this is going to be the new legacy of what hip hop is, this is very exciting. Because are we going to get the next Swizz Beatz of DMX? Are we going to get the next Gangstar? Are we going to get the next RZA and somebody from Wu-Tang? Based on what Nas has done with Hit-Boy. This is very intriguing because Nas's King's Disease album not only made people rethink how dope Nas is and recalculate his legacy, we have people in the industry who's talking about Nas in a whole nother way. Nas is irrelevant. Let me tell you something. 21 Savage used the wrong words. What he meant to say was Nas is not in popular opinion because everybody's talking about Glorilla. I'm not a Glorilla fan. I don't listen to her music. I have not. I'm not big on it, but I'm not going to downplay her. She's making her noise. Salute the Glorilla. That's what's up. But when 21 Savage said Nas was irrelevant, it wasn't him saying that bothered me. It's the people who agreed with him because they didn't check him. Because you have a little piece of celebrity, people just go with whatever the fuck you say, and that's very alarming. 21 Savage did make a point. People in a certain age group, they do not check for Nas, and Glorilla is new, so they're going to check for the newest thing. The biggest sin that keeps hip hop fucked up is that they say hip hop is a young man's sport, and young people will push the culture forward. Of course, new blood always keeps it alive. But because of ageism, racism, and industry corporate bullshit, people will always try to age out an existing artist and try to make them not relevant because of sales or marketing, which is bullshit. And when 21 Savage said Nas is not relevant, he just has a loyal fan base that supports him and he makes good ass music. That's relevancy. You see what I'm saying? That's what makes Nas long lasting in the culture. Think about what happened while King of Disease 3 was coming out. 50 Cent came out and said Nas is that guy. He's the one. Because everything he was doing, we were learning it while he already was doing it. Nas is that one. He's the one. Think about that. That's very big to get that love from somebody in your craft, right? That's one. OG's co-sign Nas, Kid Capri and all them, true. But then you had people like Kodak Black telling 21 Savage, nah, he bugging the fuck out. Nas is very relevant. So not only did Nas get a cosign from the OGs, he got a cosign from somebody that came after people who came after him, 50, Kodak Black. And I showed you that Nas has something that goes from generation to generation. So he can't be irrelevant. He's so relevant that when he dropped his track list, and Jay-Z dropped a picture of all his Grammys, and people thinking him and Jay-Z going back and forth, and Jay tries to steal his shine every time he comes out. That's relevancy because, look, we're still talking about it. But most importantly, with all this relevant and irrelevant talk, the music stands out on its own. Tell me one song on King's Disease 3 that you don't like, realistically. I could tell you, when I first heard King's Disease 3, when I heard the 5 heartbeat sample on Legit, come on, man, who's sampling the 5 heartbeats? And the beat is so beautiful. You see what I'm saying? Besides that, Once a Man, Twice a Child has to be my favorite track on there because Nas has the gift of not only being lyrical and talking real life shit, but he could put you in his seat and you could feel, see, and understand, live through those lyrics that he gives you. That's the gift of being an MC. That's what makes Nas special. And the standard of hip hop, if it changes to be not just to rush an album out every year, not to just put some shit together and put it on streaming platforms, but to build anticipation, get with somebody who brings the best out of you and then rock with them. That's pretty big and phenomenal. The only persons I've seen do that when it comes to music is Stanley Ipkiss and Gail Campbell. If you haven't heard Bloody Waters and Let My People Go, you're missing 2 incredible projects that will change your life. Nas working with Hit-Boy made 4 projects in 2 years that has changed the culture and the fabric of how we understand hip-hop. Salute the Nas and salute the Hit-Boy. So let me know. Drop some comments. Who is your favorite MCs out right now? Maybe industry, maybe underground, maybe independent. Because everybody in the independent ain't underground and vice versa. But who is your favorite artist? And who would you like to see them rock with? Why don't you let me know? This is a very beautiful topic when it comes to hip-hop because at the end of the day, hip-hop has been boring for a long time. And it takes some of the OGs to come back and make hip-hop more eventful. You know what I'm saying? People want to do collab albums. You got Drake and 21 Savage doing collab albums. That's dope. Fine, do them. The constraints of the industry is not on you no more. So they set a new standard. There's artists I want to see do an album together. You know, I would love to see the Best of Both Worlds come out again. But my artist of choice for Best of Both Worlds, who I wish could have done it, is Mary J. Blige and Nas or Mary J. Blige and Lil' Kim. That would have been awesome. To see them 2 come together and do something, that would have been amazing. And right now, all you need is 5 to 7 songs. You don't need nothing else. That's all you need. What do y'all think? Would y'all like to see that? Who would you like to see as some of your best collab artists come together and do something? What about producers? Is there a producer that you want to hear do something with an artist that you really like? This is the most beautiful time of hip hop because being that the industry can't hold the music down or the culture down, now we can do what we want to do and see what we want to see as people who are fans and try to make the culture go to our direction. Look, my favorite rapper has always been Redman. I don't know what the fuck Redman is doing. Redman has not dropped the album in so long, and I don't even think he want to do music no more. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Maybe he's off into Hollywood and something. May the Most High bless his steps and may he provide for his children, his family, and do well. You know what I'm saying? If I had to remove Redman from being my number 1 rapper, I gotta give it to Nas, yo. And let me tell you why. Because the most beautiful thing an artist can do is always put you on their mind and reflect the world that you see or that you experience and that they see back into your experience. And that's some of the best stuff I've seen coming from hip hop is Nas, then Benny the Butcher, Ransom. Shout out to Ransom, Trust. Shout out to Griselda. You got people out here doing some stuff. Locally, we got Ill City. You know what I mean? The Artifacts just dropped a new album, RP the Tame One. You know, it's one of my favorite rappers of all time. You know what I mean? And even with them coming back and bringing back the old art of scratches and stuff when it comes to the beats and breaks and all that, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you make a new standard when it comes to hip hop. Hip hop has gotten pretty boring. It's been drill. It's been drill. It's been lackluster beats. It's been stream my album, stream my album, stream my album. But no one out there is really producing the music that's being pushed. D Bridges, he just dropped the album project called No More Losses. That deserves to be pushed. Samad Savage went up to number 5 on iTunes. That deserves to be pushed. Ill City, Gail Campbell, and so many more that I've heard, they deserve to be pushed. It's very important that with this new standard of hip hop, not only do you find your sound, you find your identity. Because some of these people out here who do music, they're straight up imposters. They have imposter syndrome. A lot of them think they're great and they're not. A lot of people think they put out the hottest shit and they don't. A lot of people out here is just putting things out and thinking that it's going to move the culture and be heard. It's not. I mean, if you think I'm lying, and everybody who listens to the mainstream listen to them more than me, right? All right. Well, 50 Cent just put out a quote that said, "Take your time to put out a classic because it'll serve you better. Take your time and don't rush your music. Make the best thing you can make because it will live longer than you." And Get Rich and Die Trying is one of those classic albums that's going to forever sell and be known as one of the magnum opuses of 50's professional careers in music. One of. You see what I'm saying? We still talk about Illmatic. We still talk about Blueprints and Reasonable Doubt. We still talk about Into the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. We still talk about all those albums and many more. You know, depending on where you're from. You know, you got 8-Ball, MJG, and the NWA, Ice Cube, Scarface, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, Future. We got people who are dropping what's considered classic music, and it's going to serve them for a long time. But if people are not taking their time and they're just putting out some bullshit, then the culture is going to die, and we're not going to have that great music that changes the world. Am I lying? Look at how we're looking at the King Disease series. Look how we're looking at Magic. Nas and Hit-Boy took their time and crafted 4 projects in 2 years by just locking in with each other and creating synergy and great music behind it. This reminds me of a conversation I had with the OG Quaz Mills. Salute to Quaz Mills. He talked about introducing people, producers and artists together. I'm all for that. But I need the artists and the producers to talk and form that synergy. Because when they do, only greatness and thing can happen, and great history and music can happen. And if not, then if God made you an A and you couldn't see level workout, are you really celebrating your talent and the Most High with the best that you put out? I don't think so. And that's why I see it. You know what I mean? I think a lot of us out here are celebrating mediocrity. And it shows because when King Disease 3 dropped, everybody's eyebrows went up because the culture shifted, because the OG came back and put something straight to now it's like, damn, what's going on? Now we got talks of relevancy and we got talks of what is relevant and what makes somebody a GOAT when it comes to this culture. Will Nas always be the GOAT? Yes. Will King's Disease ever be topped? We don't know. But what I can tell you is now we're at a point where not only is the question of how good King Disease is being talked about, we now are starting to see the expectations of the album, the creative process, and what's being put out raised because of this King Disease series. Who you want to see come back? Who interests you when it comes to the King Disease series? What interests you the best, and who would you like to see make something in line of the King Disease series where somebody comes back and has quality music and puts out quality product? I can't answer for you, but I know myself. I would love to see Ghostface and Raekwon finally make that album together with them as a group, not with them co-starring. But even if they did, Ray and Ghost coming back would be great. And if the RZA do it, or if not, if Ninth Wonder does it, or whoever, that would be amazing. Soul Council, whatever. I would love to see Apollo Brown link up with somebody like a Talib or somebody, man. Look, there's people out here who are just great. And like I said, if not for King's Disease, you still got Gail Campbell and Stan Ipkiss. And shout out to all my people out there making good music and got us looking forward to greatness coming back. So with that being said, this is Karev at Heritage Hip Hop on Nas and Hit-Boy. Is the new standard of hip hop? Is it the new standard to you? Did Nas and Hit-Boy create a shift in the culture that will make you want to get into music a little more again? Did it excite you? Let me know. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think of this commentary. Am I on point or am I missing the mark? You can tell me and we can have a great conversation together. Before we get out of here, I'd like to say a shout out to everybody for watching. Make sure you check out Heritage Hip Hop as you do on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Heritage Hip Hop is also on Anchor.fm, Apple Podcasts, Spotify as well. So you will hear this and other commentaries as well on your streaming platforms. Heritage Hip Hop is a network as well. So we're not only doing hip hop. I want to give a shout out to my new show on Heritage Hip Hop. It's called A&N on R&B. Let me see if I can show y'all some of that A&N on R&B stuff right now. A&N on R&B looks like this. This is their room, and this is their that logo right there. That's their logo. There it is. A&N on R&B with Big A, Nika Ladine, and Nas the Romantic, where they talk R&B. See this stuff in the back? This ain't me. I'm more hip hop. I'm into that cityscape. But I'm gonna show you the opening to today's show if you haven't seen it already. So that's a part of the intro right there. So A&N R&B is every Sunday from 7 to 8 o'clock, and they have an after party on Instagram. So people looking any R&B artists that y'all know who sing and producers and all that, y'all want to talk about the R&B lifestyle and bringing that sound back, please check out A&N and R&B. A-N-N and R&B on IG. A, the letter N, the letter N, on R, letter N, letter B. You see what I'm saying? Let me see if I can find that on here. A&N on R&B. That's them right there. You can follow them there. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, Heritage Hip Hop is a network. A&N R&B is our R&B show. I want to give a shout out to my sisters, Simply Bree, who helped me with all this StreamYard stuff and helping me learn this stuff. And shout out to everybody out there. Look, subscribe to heritagehiphop.com for more. That's our digital real estate. You can find us on all social media, like I said, and Spotify and all that good stuff. When I'm on here, I would love to get you to talk to me. Please leave me some comments. Please let me know you're there. Hit the like button. Make sure you share, comment, and let the world know that we're here. You want to get some merch and want to support Heritage Hip Hop, go to heritagehiphop.com. If you're looking for new things coming from Heritage Hip Hop, believe me, you will be satisfied. If you've seen our MC character, which I'll put up on here later, another show, you're going to see our DJ character. You're going to see some new stuff. I promise you. Heritage Hip Hop is rebranding, and I want to apologize to everybody. Let me take this off for a second. I want to apologize to everybody because Heritage Hip Hop has been going through some changes because there's been a lot of calamity and life situations happening. So you know me for interviewing people, going out and doing events and everything like that, and that slowed down. It did not stop. Okay. Uh, a family member of mine passed away in October. I've lost some friends who passed away. And Tame One passing away really hurt me as well because I wanted to work with Tame. Even today, I went to a funeral to go to the final resting of one of my coworkers who passed away unexpectedly. So death has been in my circle and loss has been in my circle. And that's why Heritage Hip Hop has slowed down. It's not because I don't want to do this, and it's not because, I'm just feeling lazy with it. I've been going through some emotional stuff. And for anybody out there who watches Heritage Hip Hop, thank you for supporting me. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I get all the thousands of subscribers and all that, yet it's coming. But I'm open enough with my audience and let everybody know who follows the platform to know that, listen, I've been going through some real shit. And losing people is very hard for me because I've been around death a lot since I was a kid. You know what I mean? Uncles dying, aunts dying, seeing my mom cry when her best friend died unexpectedly. It's a lot, And for me, death hits very hard. I don't show it and I don't process it well. And when I get emotional when it comes to it, it takes me a little while to get back from it. So all I would like to say is for everybody out there who's been watching and asking questions and want to know what's going on, thank you for your patience. Heritage Hip Hop will not be disappearing like that again, hopefully, because you never know what happens around the corner. And I pray that the Most High will keep you safe and keep me safe. And life is very precious. But one of the hardest things I had to go through while Heritage Hip Hop was going down, was like taking a little break, was explaining death to children. So while we do talk about music and while we do talk about the new standard, let's make love and understanding a standard that we don't take for granted. Because within the past 2 weeks, the hardest conversation I had was explaining to a 3 and 4-year-old what death is. And that's the first time I ever had to do that with a preschool classroom. And when a little kid comes to you and cries about wanting somebody that's not going to come through that door anymore, that's one of the hardest conversations that I've ever had with a child. You know, um, we talk about, like I said on here, we talk about music, we talk about life. Please, everybody, take care of your life. Get life insurance if you don't have any. Make sure you take care of your final wishes, because in seeing death so often and seeing people do GoFundMe's and things like that, please don't put your family in a situation that's going to hurt them. I'm going to be real with y'all. I talked about Nas tonight, and I'm just being transparent, talking about me right now. Let me tell y'all something. Me and death, it hits me a whole nother way. With my family dying, I have to be strong for other people, but my emotions don't get talked about. When it came to Tame dying, I lost one of my heroes, and it was a dream come true for me to meet him and interview him. But my prayers go out for his mother, his clique, and L. You see what I'm saying? That really, those are the people on my mind. And then when my coworker died, right, my co-teacher, going to work and not seeing her in that classroom, and the kids come in and they asking for her, and I know she's not coming back. That's some of the hardest conversations I had. When I was younger and I had to go through things like this, when my aunt passed away in the house with me and things of that nature, hip hop music was the one thing that saved me in my mind, because the music was able to heal me where people wouldn't talk to me. I grew up where in a situation, a family where when somebody died, people didn't explain things to you. My mother had her thing, and my father wanted to hide everything from everyone and just be secretive. So what hip hop did for me was it gave me a chance to understand, and it gave me an understanding. It made me develop a mind where not only I could see life for what it is, but I could understand individuals' perspectives as well. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I go so hard for heritage hip hop and talk about these artists and big up these independent artists, because y'all don't know what y'all music does to people and what it can do for people. Bringing it back to King's Disease, Nas making King's Disease did a lot for people who did not have faith in our culture anymore and our branding. And I appreciate him for that. But I appreciate you out there who are looking to create music. And whether you're trying to be in the industry or not, keep sharing your gift, because you don't know who you're healing and you don't know whose life you're saving with the music you make. So please do yourself and the people a favor by being more than somebody who's a killer on a microphone or somebody who talks about stupid shit that's more of a movie than reality. Put some reality, put some healing, and put some love into your bars and your music, because you never know who's listening and you never know who you might inspire, and you never know how many doors will open up to you because you make great, long-lasting, forever music. That is the standard that hip hop has always established. And I salute Nas and Hit-Boy, because now with the new standard, people are looking at how not only music is made, but how legacies are celebrated by somebody who puts their best foot forward, locks in, and makes some of the most incredible music we've heard in a long time. With that being said, salute to Nas, salute to Hit-Boy. Make sure you subscribe to heritagehiphop.com. Join me on all social media. Wherever you have a phone and you take it there, I'm there too. So Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever it is, I'm there with you. So check this out. I said what I had to say. I don't get no new comments. So I'm out. Peace.